Hey guys, in this video I will show you how to use the OpenAI with the C Sharp, or call the API function with the C Sharp. So first thing you need to have an OpenAI account. So you need to search OpenAI console and log into your account. So let's log into my account. Now, after you log into your account, there is a page. This page will help you play around. This is called Playground, which will help you do some quick tests to create the assistant. So let me start from here, and then I will show you how to create from C Sharp. So you can create an assistant. Assistant is like your own OpenAI, your chatbot, or something like if you're doing support stuff, automatically support the bot support something, you can create your own assistant. So let's say we could say let's create a teacher. So I would say do some test. So if people ask the assistant 1 + 1 = what, so I say okay, equals 3. This is not right, but it is a good test. So if it answers 3, that means it's use this assistant. So you need to pick up this one, this previous one. This one allow you and running some code like the Python code. I don't need this one right now. This one is about add some file. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this one for this particular video. So this file. Okay, the file is something like if you want the OpenAI to read your documentation, read your PDF, read your Word documentation, some instruction, you can put to there. Like if you are a restaurant order assistant, you may need to understand the meal. So what service you provide, what meal you provide, something like that. So I don't need to do this right now. We could talk about that later. Right now we just talk about how to create the assistant. So once I create assistant, you will say assistant created. Now if you ask 1 + 1 = what, it may give you the wrong answer. Okay, so its answer is says 3, which is not right, but it's a good test case. Test this scenario. So when you ask the question, it will do some HTTP request. Here is the for HTTP request. It's add message, run threading, create threading. It's a whole bunch of stuff over here. I will do this in the C# code, but it not demonstrates how to create the assistant. So I will also show you this part. This part you can also see the reference API reference over here. So it shows you how to create the assistant, create the threading, create the add the message and run. It have a bunch of code. It has a Python, Node.js, but it don't have the C#. So that is why I created some video to demonstrate how to use this by the C#. So first thing you need, let's start. First thing you need to go to your Visual Studio. Let's open your Visual Studio. Let's create a new one. Create a Windows API, Windows Form application. Okay, the default one. So my demo. Go to next. Click next. So first thing, I need to create a text box which allows the user type the assistant name. So you need a text box over here. Let's name it txt assistant name. Okay, I need a button to create the name would be create. So next thing, after you create the assistant, you need to know you get success or not. So you need some label to display the results. Here I display the if success, I display the label ID. No, the assistant ID. Okay. Over here. Now let's click the create. So what I need to do, I need call the API to create the assistant. So basically it's a HTTP request. So I just copy the code to here. I don't need to type a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, let's say you can. How do I know what you need to create? You can take a look at this one. So basically, it will create data payload. If you look at the maybe look at the Node.js is easier. So you create an object, something like that. Create data over here. So let's do with the C#. Okay, with the C#, we just create an object which contains the payload you want. So I put something over here. So this is the description instruction. This is the name. Assistant name. Okay. After that, I need to do the HTTP request. You could use a RIP client. You need to use HTTP client. I'm using HTTP client, so I use this guy. So this guy basically show me something. Okay, create a this is general C# concept. Just create the HTTP client object and put something over here. Put the token over here. I already need the token anyway. So now you have this thing. You have this guy. After that, you need to generate the content which you want to send to the server side. We need to use this object. That's JSON convert because we need to convert this to JSON. So what we need to do is we need to add a new get reference, which is the Newton software. This is a very famous one. So just add this one. Add the reference. Okay, here is the content. After you have the content, you need to create the HTTP post, because this is the HTTP post. HTTP post, because I use the async, I just easily get this, use the async method. Post to here with the data over here. Then I could get the result. Let's copy over here. Let's get the result. That's where I get the result. Once you get the result, you may not know what the result looks like. So you can set a breakpoint over here and run it. And say this F10. Okay, you will see it's actually is a JSON string. So once you have the JSON string, you could convert the JSON to JSON string to JSON object. That's how we convert the JSON object. And we know now, once we have that, we could say, okay, we need to figure out which one is the ID. So same deal, you could have a breakpoint over here. Let's say, if you take a look over here, so okay, the first object, the first attribute ID, so which makes things easier. I would say you could do like something like this. ID, say what is going on. Okay, so it's get the right value. To string, so you can use this one, this dot enable text equal this guy. Okay, it should work. I don't need the breakpoint anymore. Okay, so far we create the assistant, but we don't have we don't run the question. We don't start the new threading. So right now, let's start a new threading. You go to create a new button. Create a new button. Say there is no parameter we need. So let's just say start. Okay. Name btn start. Let's start. Same deal. We just do an API call. To create the thread. Okay. To do that, we need a same deal. We need basically the same like this one. We need the same object. So we need to create an object. When you say, okay, give me a new assistant, give me a new threading, but under this assistant. So we put over here. Now we do the same thing, the HTTP request. Basically, you could either just copy from here, but I already write this thing down, so I just copy from here, from my existing one. So it's the same parameter. This 39 should be exactly the same as here. We could like extract this to somewhere, but this is just a quick demo, so I don't need to do that. We use the object, this object request data object. Okay, so let's fix this problem. After that, so let's get the result. The same deal, you can set a breakpoint, say what exactly you get. You need to understand this part. This part creates threading, this URL. So to how I know that, basically I just follow the documentation. Over here, say how we create the threading. List assistant or this guy, we don't need this one. We just say okay, create assistant, create this one. That's how I find this one, post this message, thread ID. Maybe this change a little bit. Threading ID, create threading, okay. This one a little bit different than the documentation. That may change a little bit for this one. We don't need when we I'm sorry, this is create the message, not create threading. Okay, let's create threading over here. Okay, that's exactly the same. We retrieve, this is the retrieve. Create the one, we use this guy. Okay, so we use this guy, we don't need any parameter. Then go here, go here. We need to figure out what's the return. So set a breakpoint. Say, let's create assistant first. Okay, let's start this guy. You can tell the first attribute ID is the 3D ID. So let's add something to store that. You can store that in the memory, but I would like store that in the UI. This is help me easy to understand what it is. So let's add a label. Okay, so the same LPL ID. Okay. Not over here, but it should be over here. So this makes it much easier. Just copy this line, exactly the same. Change this to label 3D ID. Okay. So right now we should have the 3D ID. Okay, it's create 3D. After you create the 3D, you need to add the message and then run the message. So you need to add the message, you need to run, but all of this I will put together. So I say, okay, we have the 3D, we have the assistant, so it's time to ask a question. So let's say text box, let's say ask a question. Okay. Okay, so text message, let's say message or question. Okay, so let's add another button, say ask. Okay. After we ask the question, it will not get answer immediately. Why it not get answer immediately? I don't know. That is OpenAI. That is OpenAI design. They not allow you get the response immediately. They need you ask. They need you wait for a few seconds and query the status. Okay, next is as we ask, we need to know what's the result or what's the runner ID. At least we need some handler. We could use this handler to query the status. So we need another label to display they call the run ID something. Yeah. So let's say run ID. Okay. So the ask pretty much the same, but the ask a little bit different. This one you need first thing you need add the message, and then you need to run it. I don't know why they pick this to set up this to 2 steps, but okay. So first thing you need to add the message. The message is come from question. So we add the message. Again, we create HTTP request. So I copy this type code. HTTP request. This 49 exactly the same. This one we'll use the message date. Okay, this message date. Let's make okay, we got the result. This result, we don't use this result. We just add the message to the threading, but we don't use the result. But we can take a look what the result looks like. You may need it later. I don't think right now. So we create the ticket, create the assistant, run the threading, ask the question, 1 + 1 equal. So it's not do anything. It's just to push the message to the threading. The result is something like this. It's threading. Its ID is the threading ID. It's just something. Say okay, this one added to this threading. It's nothing. It's nothing new. Okay. Next, we need to do something. We need to run it. So we need to create another object, which is a run object. You need to say, okay, this run object, you run this assistant, no matter what message inside of it, just run it. So we don't have too much need to do. We could reuse the HTTP request, HTTP client. So we just say get the content. Okay, so we need the response. We say, okay, run this data, run on this assistant. And this threading ID, what's the name I call it? Label thread ID, okay. So now if you have this, it will, this one is important. This one will give you some result, the runner ID. So I just put over here. So basically this add the message and run the message. That's it. Then you will get something. Get the runner ID. So let's demonstrate how it's working. Delete this one. I'm sorry. Let's create this one. Start ask the question 1 + 1 equal what? So it's giving you the run ID. You have the run ID now. You could check the status of the run, say it's complete or not. If complete, you call another API to get the results. I don't understand why they're doing like this. Maybe they will have the WebSocket to monitor the status and give you something. Say, okay, this is already answered. Something. Okay, but this is how it's counter working. Let's go to check the status. So I need add another button. Say check the status. You may not need this one. You don't have to have this one. You could like check the status every few seconds, something. Okay, so let's say another one. Okay, let's say check status. Check status. Okay, let's get this one. Check status. Okay, check status. I need the status. I can message box the status. I don't need the real get the status. I can show you what we have. So let's say go ahead. Okay, the same deal. This one is much easier. Just to check the status. So we don't need any parameter. We just need the runner ID from the previous run. So let's copy let's do the first thing, create the HTTP client, the same deal, and get the response. Do the request. Request is go over here. So I think I have the wrong name. So check the threading on this threading on this run. Okay. After you get that, just display the message. I don't need to do anything, and show you the difference. Okay, so let's say create one, start threading. Let's ask 1 plus 1 equal. Let's ask get the runner ID. If I check this immediately, it will say, okay, complete at is none. That means it's not completed. Status is in progress. So after that, you click that again, it say okay, completed. So it's completed, but you still not know. This is just to check the status, not get you the result. So you need one more. I wish they could provide either API or SDK, but that's how it is. Okay, so let's say another button. I need to say get the result. Okay. Get the result. This is a label, a name. Okay, got the result. Once we got the result, we need the runner ID. So this one also is pretty easy. So just say okay, create the HTTP client and get the result based on the threading ID. This one only provide you the threading ID because it will get the history message. I mean, it will get you every message. The last message always is a new one. The last question you're asking. I mean, okay, look at this is all. So now we get. Let's create the assistant. Let's create one. Start threading. Once we start, we ask question 1 plus 1. So we will ask. Once we ask, check the status. Status is still in progress. Check status. Still in progress. Check the status. Okay, complete. So now we get a result. You can see you get a result. The result, the last one is this one. Is the last one. I don't know this one. Even we use the exact same instruction, from here the answer is different. This will answer you okay. 1 plus 1 equals 3, but it gives you some comment. Say note for any user regarding this is a response. Please aware the answer provided is final or specific. Let's give you more specification. Say okay, this one I got something wrong, but because someone asked me answer the wrong answer. That's pretty smart, I think. Okay, so that's if you ask the question again, check the status and say it's still in progress. Still in progress. Complete. Okay, you will get the result. You will say your question will be answered twice. Okay, 1 to 1. This one is 1 plus 1 equals 3. So sometimes this is AI. Sometimes the answer is not exactly the same. The first time is answer this one. Second time answer this one. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, I think that's pretty much all. How to use the C# to call the OpenAI to create the assistants. Use the assistants. It's a very basic one. I will create another one which will allow you specify the file to create the assistant. Yeah. Thank you for the watching. Okay, let me know if you have any question. I will post this project to the GitHub Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.